This could be Judge McCarty's last meeting. Huh?
I guess so.
She retired.
Mhm.
It looks like we're ready to go.
All right, I will call this meeting to order. First item of business this morning is for roll call. Judge Coleman,
Here.
Colton Givens,
Here.
Kevin Phelps,
Here.
Melissa Cardwell,
Here.
Judge McCarty. Judge McCarty not with us this morning.
Mhm.
He was gonna call in, he said, but he didn't know how it would be with him driving. He's on his way here.
Okay. We have enough for a quorum, so.
All right, you all have the minutes from our special call meeting on 11/21/2022. If there's no corrections or additions to those, I would entertain a motion to accept them as presented.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Colton, second by Tim Coleman. Judge Coleman. Is there any discussion? Not hearing any. All in favor of the motion, let it know by saying aye.
Uh,
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Our next item of business is architect update.
Jeff's on vacation, but I got basically have Rick and Chris on here from Sherman Carter Barnhart.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. This is Rick Peterson, Sherman Carter Barnhart. Chris, do you know if we have any updates on any of the items for this project?
That we're mainly waiting on the finalization of the site is the,
Yeah, but basically, we're just going to check in with Judge Coleman and see if they've been able to review what Jeff had sent last time, and if we made any progress on subdividing, getting to the point where we can subdivide the land for purchase.
Yeah, we're getting that. That is all, the paperwork's being prepared. Hopefully we'll get that done by the end of the year.
Okay. All right. Does Judge Coleman, is a surveyor subdividing that for you all? You're all surveyor, or do you know?
Yeah, I think that's what we decided to do. Right.
Okay. Okay. So I assume if that gets subdivided, we'll just get Jeff and then the double check and make sure it matches up with what was sent. And then I guess at that point in time, we can work on probably getting an option agreement. Well, we already have that done, I believe. Where was Colton in? Is Colton in there with you, Judge
Yes.
Fleener?
Yeah. I had drafted up an option agreement, but I think we were waiting on final property descriptions and such. I don't know that it was ever executed, but I had drafted
Okay.
one.
Yep. You're right there. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since we worked on that.
Yeah. Now I can go back and look and see what we've got, but I think the issue at that time was the property ownership wasn't consolidated into one person or entity. And so I don't know
Okay.
that you could do an option agreement. You'd have to do it with multiple people that have the multiple parcels. And so I don't
Okay.
I that we were ever at a point where we had it finalized to execute.
Yeah, I think all the option agreement kind of happened the same time we were kind of working out how the property was going to be when we switched over to the parking to the car lot side of things. So, but we're putting everything in together, and we'll be able to draft that up or put in a description for what we're actually conveying.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So really, we're just down to waiting on that paperwork. So Judge Coleman, do you know when you got any idea when we'll have that paperwork?
It should be all completed right after the first year. We were trying to
Okay.
to get it to line up with the calendar year so we can dissolve the corporation. So
I got you. Okay. All right. All right, I'm just thinking about what we got to do in advance. We get that in place. So basically, once we get the information back, I guess we'll get Colton to revise the description to the point where we do that, and then we'll, I guess, really work on closing once we get to that point. All right.
Well, I think that gives us the architect update. And then our next item was land acquisition. I think that was all discussed together as one there. Is there anything else towards the architect update and land acquisition at this time?
Not that I'm
Go ahead.
aware of. Not that I'm aware of. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Other business this morning.
I don't know of any. So it's really just the, I want to go back. Let's go back to land acquisition real quick. So I guess if we get the information, if we by chance get any information between now and the next time something happens, any of that stuff gets done, we can work on some of that prior to the next meeting potentially. I don't know exactly when the paperwork's done, but we could possibly, if we're lucky, we could have the option maybe drawn up, and then we could approve it at the next meeting if that by chance happens, and if the timing works out on that.
Okay.
Just
Well, I
throw
think
that out
that's,
there.
yeah, I think that will happen. I'm pretty sure everything will be wrapped up at the first week of January. So
Okay.
we'll be ready to go into the option stuff. So
Okay. All right. So then potentially if that happens, we can just work with Colton, and then he could look at that, and then we can take a look if there's anything else needed, and then potentially we could double check that, vote to approve all that, and then if everything's by chance and in line, we can probably possibly work on setting up a closing date. And I guess one question, thinking ahead as far as closing the property on a properties corporation and stuff like that, do we need to hire a closing attorney for the board, or Colton, do you ever do that, or is that
I
your
personally do that, and it would probably be, I know our firm does, but it'd probably be a conflict to send the work to our firm. So I
Okay.
think, we would need to find somebody else to handle that for us, I think.
Does y'all have any recommendations for somebody locally that could do that for us when the time comes?
Mr. Short.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Randall Short here in town. They do quite a few real estate closings, I think.
Okay.
Judge Cohen, I got a quick question for you.
sure.
There with where the strip mall and the automotive store is at, do you think that the family would be in consideration of letting us have the first option on that piece of property to purchase at a later date, say when the lease runs out?
Yeah, I think that's always a possibility. I don't see you talking about first refusal, or do you want an option to purchase?
I think the option to purchase for that, for expanding down there, maybe giving us some more parking for later on or anything like that.
I think they would certainly look at talking to you about that. We've been trying to think about how to do the property as we go. So.
Okay. Are there any questions for him? Does anybody else have anything else to bring forward?
I guess I have one other business. Wow. I guess while we're on here for Judge Cohen, Judge Cohen, I know you talked to the one person who's going to be a new district judge. Have you talked to the other district judge?
I have not.
Okay.
I just talked to Greg.
Okay.
And since he's both of them are new judges, but Greg's, been around a long time. Daniel's fairly new.
Right.
I think Greg would probably be the better choice of the two.
Okay. Because of previous experience working. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, he was county attorney for a lot of years over in Edmonson County. So, or Daniel's fairly new. I mean, he's just been out of law school for a few years.
Okay. Can you talk to him about that so that he knows?
I've already talked to Greg. He's good.
Okay.
Oh, you may just tell Daniel that what we're,
Yeah, what we're doing, make sure just he knows. I don't want to blindside him with, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, there's no problem with that.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. If there's nothing else to bring before the board at this time, we need to schedule our next meeting date.
Regular meeting would be January 18th. Wednesday.
January 18th at 8 a.m. Is that okay with all the board members?
Good.
Good. All right. So we'll set our next meeting date, January the 18th at 8 a.m. And Mark will be doing that by Zoom, I'm assuming also.
Yes, sir. That's fine.
All right. If there's nothing else today, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
So
move.
moved.
I have a motion by Judge Coleman,
Second.
Melissa. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? We are officially adjourned. I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you all.
Merry
Thank you.
Hey, Mayor, Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.